This is Jon Daly from the EP Boulevard Pawn Shop here with Lowell Hays. This video is going to be fantastic. We are going to go from top to bottom on this little piece of jewelry called a TCB. So we're going to be taking care of business here. So Lowell, a couple questions here. What did you use to make the TCB mold? How did that all start?
Elvis asked me to, he had 12 necklaces made by Schwartz in California. So I was in Vegas with him, and he asked, and this was in like early 70s, maybe 1970. And he said, "Can you make those necklaces?" And I said, "Yeah." And he says, "Well, I'd rather give you the business." So he ordered 12 TCBs from me. And I said, "Well, I need a sample, Elvis." So he took his necklace off and gave it to me and said, make it just like this, but the lightning bolt is too long. It's not in proportion. It's too long, and it's pointed like a needle on the end. It sticks me. So he said, "I want you to shorten it just a little bit so it can be doled up some." So I said, "Okay." That's where the original mold, this is the original mold that I made from Elvis's personal TCB. And after I finished, after I made the mold, I gave him his necklace back, and ever since then, I've made molds. I've made TCBs from this mold of the TCB necklace.
You just showed us the original TCB mold.
I did. This is it.
He just whips it right out to the TCB mold. So this is Lowell Hays with the original TCB.
If you want to know if you have, when you make a copy of an original piece, it shrinks a little bit. Every time you copy it, it shrinks a little bit. So if you want to know if you have one that's an absolute total original from Elvis's mold, let me have it, and I'll lay it in this mold. It fits it like a glove. It just fits right in there.
You've heard of the mold where things are made from the original mold. You're actually seeing the original mold with Elvis's jeweler. And also, too, so just to recap here, there is a difference between the Schwartz TCB and the Hays TCB, and that has to do with the lightning bolt size, and that was per Elvis's request.
That's correct.
Wow, that's fantastic. Okay, so you have an original TCB. So how did you get your TCB?
Well, this was later on. I don't remember what year, maybe 73 or somewhere along in there. But so Elvis was performing in Vegas, and I was sitting in that red booth on the front, and a couple of guys went up on the stage on my right. I'm looking at the stage now. On my right, two guys went up on the stage. A couple of bodyguards that were up there went over to handle those two guys, and while they were over there handling them, a man goes up on the left side. And I'm looking around like, where are the bodyguards? And Elvis was backing away from this guy, and so I jumped up and ran over there and got up on the stage and got the guy. He was peaceful. He didn't give me any trouble. I just said, "You can't be up here." And I let him off the stage, and he left peacefully. I went back and sat down in my booth and watched the rest of the show. That night, a lot of times after shows in Vegas especially, Elvis would have a group of people up to his suite. And he did all kinds of things. Sometimes he would sing and play his guitar. Sometimes he would do karate. Sometimes he would play with his gun, scare us all to death. Just, you never knew. But this particular night, he was doing karate, and all of a sudden he said, "Lowell," he said, "Go get me a TCB," because he knew that my case I always carried some TCBs for him. So I went down and got him a TCB. I brought it back and handed it to him, and he says, "I want to tell everybody here that Lowell is a new bodyguard. Lowell Lowell was my bodyguard tonight. It's about time you became a member of this group officially, and so this is your necklace." And he put this necklace right here on my neck.
So the one that you have right there was given to you by Elvis that night.
Yeah, it's one, and I'd made it for Elvis.
Well, there you go. I didn't know you were in the Memphis Mafia. Look at you being designated Memphis Mafia.
There you go.
Wow. So that is how you got your TCB necklace.
That's how I got my necklace.
So it was in your room. You went and got it, and you gave it to him, and then he gives it to you, and that now you're officially given one of the TCBs from Elvis.
Yeah, and let me tell you, it was absolutely awesome to get this necklace. I just couldn't believe that he was giving me a. I didn't think that, I don't know, like I was part of that group, you know, because I was an outsider. I didn't work for Elvis.
Right.
He asked me to come along. We were friends. It was a friendship relationship. I just felt like only the Memphis Mafia guys got these, you know. And then all of a sudden, I have one, and I still remember the day like it was yesterday that he gave it to me.
Well, that's pretty fantastic. How many TCBs do you think that Elvis gave away over the years?
You know, some people think he gave away thousands, and some people don't think he. But you know, I made all those necklaces, and I know that he wasn't ordering these necklaces all the time. So I'm going to guess that over the years to 77, I don't think I made over 150 necklaces for him.
So
total.
Probably 150 for Hays, and then the original 12 Swartz.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. So
original necklaces.
Wow. Okay, so that's less than probably about 175 ballpark then. Wow. So when the TCBs were done, of course you have the standard TCBs, and of course now you have them with the stones and everything in there. Was that something that was done back then? Were there any customized TCBs with diamonds or rubies or anything that you recall?
There were. He had like Janelle McComb. You know, he made her one with a nice diamond in it.
The TLC, right?
A TLC.
Linda has a nice TLC.
Yeah, boy, does she ever.
She has a real nice TLC.
She really does. The head of the casino in the International Hotel was Artie Newman. He had Elvis had me make him one with a ruby.
Wow.
But there were friends of his that were in the entertainment business that he wanted to do something special for. Yes, he would have me make them an all-diamond necklace. Or sometimes he put diamonds in the lightning bolt. Sometimes he put diamonds in the letters only, but he didn't really like it that way, so we didn't do that very often. But usually it was an all-diamond necklace.
I know that that Lamar wanted to have diamonds put in his, and he said, no, go put your own in. So
yeah, and you know, I put diamonds in some of the guys' necklaces. They would bring me their necklace and ask me to put diamonds in them for them.
Okay.
But Elvis didn't pay for that.
Yeah. So did you you remember doing Lamar's? Did you do Lamar's, the diamonds in his?
Did his have diamonds in it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So frankly, I've forgotten. If there were diamonds in Lamar's, I did it.
Okay.
I can tell you that.
Okay. With, of course, the TCB, but what is a TCB, without the chain? Tell me about the chain for the TCB.
Okay. Well, when I started when I took over from Swartz, there was a different chain that I liked better, and Elvis liked it too. And it's a little bit unique from just a normal rope. It doesn't look like a rope. It is a rope, and but it has a unique look. If you lay this chain beside a rope necklace, you will see a great deal of difference. This chain was made by a company in Attleboro, Massachusetts, MS Chain Company, and I used to buy it 50 feet at a time on a reel. It was number M4. At 82, I don't remember everything, but I'll never forget the number of that chain because I was constantly ordering it.
So you bought one or two of them over the years, then?
I did.
Huh?
But it's such a unique chain. if you have a necklace with this chain on it, it came from me, and it was sold to Elvis. I was just going to tell you that. I didn't make these necklaces for anybody but Elvis when he was alive.
Okay. Wow.
And then right after Elvis's death, they broke the die they make this chain with.
Okay.
And so right after his death, we went to a standard rope chain. And there's all the difference in the world. That's how I can tell. People come to me all the time and say, this is an original necklace that Elvis gave me. And I'll look at it and I'll say, no way it is, because it's got the wrong chain on it.
So the M4 chain from the MS Chain Company, that's not been an option to have since
no way.
Since the 70s.
I have begged them to try to reconstruct that die and make that chain for me. They say it's too cost prohibitive to do it.
Wow, very interesting. Yeah. So speaking of Elvis's passing, so you had the TCBs that were given amongst the people that Elvis knew, but then there was the Boxcar that came out after Elvis's death. So the Boxcar was the Colonel's company, but you had an interesting. You told me a very interesting thing. How you didn't deal with the Colonel? Who did you deal with?
I dealt with Vernon. Right after Elvis died, I was as unhappy as anybody could be and sad. I loved him, and I said, I wish everybody would just leave him alone. But then he got out of control. Everybody was all over the place. People were not making things and knocking it off and all that. And I said, if we're going to do this, we need to do it right. So I talked to Vernon. I said, I can make the TCB and make it right and do it right. And so he said, well, let's do it. So
what type of a contract did you have? What did you sign?
I never signed anything with Vernon. Vernon wasn't a contract person.
So you had
if Vernon told you black was white, you better try to figure out what's wrong.
So just to clarify, the Boxcar TCBs, all of that came out, we'll show you some examples here. That was all done as a verbal agreement
between me and Vernon.
Between you and Vernon. Isn't that amazing? So it was a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah.
And then you proceeded forward. You sold a couple of those over the years, didn't you? Those Boxcars.
We sure did. I think we probably sold 30 or 40,000 of them.
They're very collectible. They're very nice. Anytime that we ever have them, they go. So if you can't get, one from pre-death, a Boxcar, as well. This has been really interesting on the TCB. I don't know if people really have understood, some of this behind, the TCB. We really were taking care of business today. This has been fantastic. And you still have TCBs. If Elvis fans want to be able to get a TCB from you, they can go to lowellhays.com.
I can make you a TCB in 14 karat gold with a rope chain on it that's similar to this chain from the same mold that I used to make them for Elvis. So I can put diamonds in it, put diamonds in the lightning bolt. I can make it in sterling silver with a sterling chain. We can put CZs in the letters in the bolt. I mean, if you want a TCB, I use the original mold for everything.
Okay. So if you are in the shopping for a TCB, depending on what type of gold or silver or stones or no stones, Lowell is still, even to this day, able to do some customized TCBs, and you will get it from a good source, from the original TCB mold that he just popped right out here a minute ago and just showed us. So,
have we got a second for me to show you something else?
Absolutely.
Hang on a second. I want to show you something.
Oh, I don't even know what this is. Drum roll, please.
You know who Kiss is?
Yes.
Well, Kiss has recently contacted me to make necklaces for the group.
No way.
And this is the prototype.
I wish that was a little bigger. I can't quite see that low.
Yeah, isn't this incredible? So they ordered them in sterling silver. You know, they wear a lot of silver.
Yeah.
And they ordered them in sterling silver. And as a matter of fact, I just shipped them the necklaces recently.
Wow.
So
I think that's as big as Gene Simmons' tongue. I mean, that's a really big TCB.
Yeah, I was in a little business today, and I just happened to mention Gene Simmons to this guy, and he just babbled off all four of them, their names, you know. But it's just it's incredible that they would come to me, because I mean, they wanted TCB, they came to the right guy.
I don't think Elvis realized like how much the TCB. I mean, for him, you know, he had it on his plane and, you know, on the car, you know, cars and, you know, the jewelry and, you know, all kinds of stuff. But it really, the TCB has kind of taken on a life of its own. And even in modern day 2021, almost 2022, influential, you know, Kiss. I mean, that's a big deal. They're a great band.
Yeah.
And they're into the TCBs. That says a lot about you. That says a lot about the TCB. The TCB will be like Elvis. It will live forever, and it has a life of its own. That is really, really amazing. Well, we Elvis fans appreciate you taking care of business with us today. This has been a phenomenal. We hope you enjoy our videos with Lowell. He's just a wealth of information. He's just a terrific guy. If you ever get an opportunity to meet him at birthday or Elvis week, he's around. If you have any questions on anything, you want to buy anything, visit lowellhays.com. Lowell, we appreciate your time today. Everyone else, please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you like this content.